A very warm good afternoon to everyone. Let me take you back to the journey in 2004 when I was just 11 years old. I was doing my schooling in one of the small towns of province number 5. I was excellent in studies, doing very good in extracurricular activities. I was the most loved student, most admired friend, and I was just living the literally the best days of my life one child could ever imagine of. I was an apple of eye of everyone. But that was back in the town in province number 5, which lies in midwestern region of Nepal. My dad used to be a banker, and then suddenly he got shifted to Kathmandu city. So we, for family as a whole, had to move out to Kathmandu. And then I got admitted to one of the well-renowned schools of Kathmandu. It was my first day at school. I vividly remember it was Friday. We were having some sort of fun activity in the class. And I was really nervous and excited at the same time because it was a new school, new teachers, new friends, entirely new environment. And then that in that fun activity period, students were supposed to do something, like recite poems, sing, dance, crack jokes, or so on. And I was hyperactive back then. So I raised my hand, and the teacher went on, go on. Then I just sang one folk song that used to be very popular. When I used to sing that song in my town, I used to be applauded and admired by everyone. And then I started singing the song Tulsi Purma Maja Dakheri Hajur Beto Vayo. And suddenly, to my surprise, whole class burst into laughter. Everyone is laughing at me, calling me, mocking. Just they don't know what's going on. I was so amazed, I was so nervous. I was embarrassed. I felt so ashamed that I couldn't continue any further. Then all my face turned pale and I couldn't continue, so I sat down. And the teacher scolded whole class, and suddenly one student stood up and sang the song, Hamro Gaule Jeevan. Hami Vanda Dherai Tada. And everyone was laughing, clapping together, enjoying the song, and even they rapped together, Hamro Katha, Hamro Betha, Ajo Yaha Kaslai Tha. And I was so surprised with it. And for the first time in my life, I knew how it felt to be included. Now I can say this with a smile in my face, but that trauma, that bully stayed in me for a long period of time. Because I felt how it feels to be excluded, how it feels to be not included in the mainstream. We can see a beautiful irony there. I was singing a folk song and that was not appreciated, and the one guy who lived in the Kathmandu and was singing about the village life, Gaule Jeevan, and he was afraid. It was a beautiful irony. So now I have realized that at that time it was very hard for me during up to my teenage years. But now I'm very happy that that incident happened to me because that has made me a better person today. I know the value of importance of inclusion and diversity. So I have being different, we think being different is ridiculous, being different is weird. Now I've realized that being different is not ridiculous. Being different is beautiful. Being different brings different perspective in the table. Being different brings the harmony. And for the nation to have equitable development, inclusion is very necessary. So I had made a place to myself that no matter which sector I'll go, if I am hiring people, I'll try to include more sections of the populations as possible, as much as from the different genders, geographical regions, castes, creeds, religions, intersectional. I will try to make that population as intersectional as possible. And during my 3 years of working at National Innovation Center as a CEO, I have tried to implement the same as well. Then moving on, now growing up in a very middle class family, I knew the importance of finances at a very young age. I know we all have gone through that phase as well. There used to be issues due to lack of money. Then I made a promise to myself when I was in class 7 that no matter what I will do in my life, I will make my finances strong. So then I started searching for the careers that would reward with me with high pay. Then I learned about chartered accountancy course. If you become a chartered accountant, then your one signature equals to 1 lakh rupees. So I was so motivated that at class 7, I decided to do chartered accountancy, and then I did my schooling, high schooling, went to India, pursued chartered accountancy for 6 years. And my nature has always been of question. I used to question the existing system, existing practice. That same happened during my study at India also. What happened was we used to undergo 3 years articleship period, internship period, under one of our principals who used to be chartered accountants as a part of our chartered accountancy course. So I joined one of the chartered accountancy firm in New Delhi, which was in Lajpat Nagar. There was a strange practice there. Only male colleagues were allowed to go for outstation audits outside of Delhi capital, and females were confined to the works inside Delhi only. Then I asked, that seemed very uncomfortable to me because I love to travel, I love to explore things. Then I asked my senior female colleagues, Didi, sister, why is it so? Because we are not allowed to go out. This is not right. Why is it so? Then she told me maybe it's due to a security reason. And then this is India, and there are many security regions. So maybe that's the reason. But I was so amazed that we female were precluded from going outstation audits for the last 10 years, and they even don't know the exact reason. They are even guessing it. So it was not acceptable to me. Then I went to the principal's office and I told, sir, I want to go to outstation audit. And he was like, what? Then I told that I really want to go to outstation audit and explore the world outside Delhi and do the work outside. Then at first, he didn't, he told me that it was for my own good, that he's not letting us go, he cares about us. And then I told, sir, if you want, I can write a paper where I will write, if anything ever happens to me during my outstation audit, I solely will be responsible and my principal is not responsible at all for this. Then he finally agreed and then smiled and said, okay, let go. I don't need to do that paper thing, you just go. Then I went with my male colleagues to outstation audits. We did bank audits and we did a commendable job. Thankfully, I returned safe to Delhi. Then the chain broke, Sometimes one small act of boldness, one small act of voicing off can bring the chains. So I stood up and questioned and raised the question in front of my principal, which has not been done in the past 1 decade. And then finally, it was an easy route for all the female colleagues working there. They were also allowed to go for outstation audits, and it was a very happy moment for us all. So after completing my chartered accountancy course, I had given CV. I didn't really want it to work in the corporate sector, but also after qualifying, I gave CV in Nepal to one of the most renowned banks of Nepal. And then I was shortlisted and called for an interview. And he asked me, there were a panel of interviewers, and they asked me, tell me something about yourself, as usual. I just went on, I had rehearsed, and I just went on. And then the next question he asked me was, when are you planning to marry? What? I wasn't prepared for that. This is not the question I deserve. And then I couldn't answer. I don't have plans at all. Then have you thought of starting a family anytime soon? I'm not even thinking of marriage, and you are asking me if when I'm going to start my family. This really pissed me off. Already I had a very negative image about the corporate sector. And then again this interview, and I left the interview in between. I didn't carry any forward. When I heard the third question, which was, when are you planning to start the family? And I outrightly left the interview and came back, and afterwards they made the call. But I didn't respond at all, so I left my corporate career thereon. And I really wanted to join some sort of social organizations where I can have a larger impact on the population. And I had heard about National Innovation Center, and I was in connection with one of the board members, C. Arikumar Silwal sir, to whom I am ever grateful. He told me, there is one National Innovation Center, have you heard of it? Then, okay, yes, I have heard about it. I've also heard about Dr. Mahavir Pun, and he told me that there is both risks and rewards associated with it. Risks is that it's an initial stage. You'll have to look after the construction, setting of the office, buying furniture, buying equipment. You have to start from the scratch. And the reward is, you never know where National Innovation Center may reach. So I thought for a moment, and in just a matter of 10 seconds, I replied, yes, I'm ready to take the challenge. So I joined National Innovation Center, not as a fancy CEO back then. I used to ride a motorbike, and I used to look after the construction of National Innovation Center. I think most of you have visited it inside Kirtipur, Tribhuvan University. So even I used to tie that rods in my bike, and then I used to take that to National Innovation Center as a cost-saving technique back then. So I looked after the construction, set of the office, and did everything there, and the things went on. And we worked really hard for the last 3 years. I didn't want to boast about it because that's not my sole work. That was a teamwork, and we were awarded by various ministries for our work. And finally, government has also recognized our work, and we as a team are very happy about it. So let me share with you a bitter incident about being a female CEO. So what happened was there was a meeting in one of the ministries. I think that was Science and Technology Ministry inside the Singha Darbar. One new innovation policy was supposed to be brought by the government, and they were asking comments from various people, from National Innovation Center, FNCCI, and other industries people. And then I got a notice about the meeting about 1 month ago, and then I decided that I will be attending that meeting. And for 1 month, I studied about the various national innovation policies of various countries. I did the research and went through a lot of papers, and then finally had a valid point to make in the meeting. And then I went to the meeting, and the meeting started, and I had my point then. And the meeting convener, the person who was convening the meeting, said, "Okay, next." Then another person was someone from FNCCI, and he made the same point that I made without statistics, without research. I had statistics in my backup, research in my backup, but I was just outrightly neglected, And then the person made the same point which I made without anything, outrightly, and he was uploaded. He was, he was just talked about by everyone. Everyone uploaded, appreciated, and I was like, what? A couple of minutes ago, I made the same point, backed by my research, backed by my statistic. I wasn't, I was neglected by everyone. And the next time, the FNCCI guy makes the same point without any basis, and he is suddenly applauded by everyone. Then I thought, okay, Mira, cool down. You live in a patriarchal society, so this happens every time. So what happens is, due to when our feelings are not validated, when our opinions are not validated, when our thoughts are not validated, what happens is we female develop imposter syndrome. I think most of the female in this room can relate to me. We even question ourselves that, am I capable enough? Am I good enough? Am I skillful enough? Maybe this is I am lacking something, but that's not true. We are not lacking something. It's because of the society that only males' opinions are validated, males' opinions are given wow or are uploaded, and we are just left out. Our voice are not being heard. So we feel that this is because of lack of our own ability, because of lack of our own strength, but which is very untrue, right? So we should always try to come out of that. We should come out of imposter syndrome. As a young female, when I interview many young female, when I hire, I see some kind of that imposter syndrome in every one of us. So it's a bigger challenge for younger female of this generation to come out of this imposter syndrome. A couple of years ago, I used to think I'm very, hardworking. What I have achieved is because of my hard work, my labor, my patience, my confidence, and all. Lately, I have realized that was only a small part of it. The first important part was because of the privilege I was in. Because I was born in an educated family, I was born in an upper caste. I was able to do my education from a good school, and I had a privilege of a very happy family. I had a privilege of gender-friendly or gender-equitable environment. I had the privilege of good friends and good teachers, but not everyone has that privilege. So where I am today is because of the privilege I am in. So understanding the privilege has made me more humble, more Um, and I want this privilege to give it back to those who don't have. And I think this is the most necessary thing for us, for all of us, to understand our privilege and be humble, accountable for our actions, and give it to the underprivileged people in return. And the second thing is, second and the last thing I want to tell, mostly to females in my profession, in any profession, is that financial independence is not enough, right? Financial independence gives you voice. Financial independence gives you a life of comfort, but that is not our ultimate destination. We are here because a lot of our ancestors fought for us. It has not even been 100 years that we got voting rights. It's our responsibility to make this way easier for more people, more generations of people to come. So now we should ask our position in leadership positions. We should try to reach at the authority levels. We should try to reach at the decision-making levels so that we can collectively bring a systemic change. Mere representation is not enough. We want people in leadership positions, females in leadership positions. So please don't settle down. Please don't be satisfied with only the financial independence. We need independence, more of that. We need more female in leadership positions, in decision-making positions, and policy-making positions. So I had written a poem back then when we were battling with the leaders in our profession inside ACAN, Association of Chartered Accountants of Nepal. When we were really having a tough battle, there were a group of 15, 20 female chartered accountants. We used to meet daily, talk about many things. We used to organize programs, and we were really having a tough battle, fighting with the people in power. And I had written a long poem back then. I have extracted 4 lines from there, and I would like to recite it in front of you all, and then I'll leave this session. So the poem, 4 lines of this poem go: there will be days when there will only be pain. There will be days when there will only be pain. Our efforts will vanish and our energy will drain. Our efforts will vanish and our energy will drain. No matter what, question the system and break the chain. There is nothing to lose, my friend. There is nothing to lose, my friend. Only a lot to gain, only a lot to gain. Thank you.